Welcome to the Armani Talks YouTube channel. I'm your host, Armani Talks. In this channel, we're covering communication skills so you can level up your confidence, charisma, and personal brand. Let's make sure you understand what a personal brand is. In the lamest terms, it's a media company. It's a company where you're uploading stories in order to provide value towards others. That's a byproduct of you being creative for an extended period of time, from you sharing your personal experiences and the insights that were learned. That right there is a personal brand, a media company that is built around you. But let's understand the personal brand on a deeper level. Let's understand it with the example of a car. A car is a vehicle, but what allows that vehicle to go from point A to point B is the gasoline. Because without the gasoline, eventually the car stops running. That's why we know that we always have to fill up the gasoline once a month at least. And in the same context, the brand is the vehicle, but what keeps it moving forward is the content. The content is the gasoline for any brand, especially any media company out there. And without the content, eventually you're going to fizzle out. Yet, for any creator out there, there comes a certain point where you're not feeling creative like you used to. Before, all the ideas used to just come to you, and it felt as though you and the creative spirit were best friends. But nowadays, the creative spirit never shows up anymore. He's gone AWOL. So what do? What you do is not what you should be doing, but here's what you do. You start overanalyzing. You start thinking, damn, man, the jig is up. I'm out of ideas. Everything is going to break apart, and everything is going to die out from here on out. I gotta see what everyone else is doing. And this is when you begin your journey towards jumping on the latest shiny object. You see what everyone else is talking about, what else is popping right now, and you start talking about that. You stray away from the authentic side that you began off with in the initial stages, and you're straying away. But the farther that you stray away, the less and less the happiness is behind your art. We need to get you back towards where you used to be. We need to make you an artist again. And I'm going to give you an easy hack in order to create infinite content. Not limited content, I'm talking infinite. The world of creativity does not follow the same rules that we're used to in the day-to-day world. There's time, there's space, there's causation. None of that exists in the world of creativity. So if you want infinite content, you have to start thinking in a different context. Right now, you are a circus clown, yet we want you to become the owner of the circus. What does this mean? Well, let's break down the clown first. What does a clown act like? A clown goes in front of an audience and starts asking, well, what do you want me to do to make you laugh? And the clown starts doing a lot of ridiculous things in order to make this audience laugh. And eventually, the audience laughs. They're like, yo, good clown, good job, here's some money. Now do something else for our own amusement. So the clown starts asking, well, what else do you want me to do? So the crowd says, jump up, roll around, tell us a joke, act like a monkey. And the clown is getting all these different commands in order to appeal to the audience. Now, at first, the clown feels good. The clown feels as though he's doing his job in order to entertain the audience. But once the audience leaves, the clown feels a little empty. The clown's thinking, dang man, I'm sort of being used as a tool for amusement. It doesn't feel like I'm creating anymore. It seems as though I'm following commands. It seems as though that, I don't know, I just picked up another job. And whenever something feels like a job, it's no longer art. And that is the downfall of the clown. He's too reliant on the audience. While the owner of the circus is a little different. The owner of the circus sees the hierarchy view of everything. He knows what kind of shows do well. He knows what the audience needs. He doesn't ask the audience, oh, what would you guys like? He knows what they need because he's been in the circus game for so long. He's a successful circus entrepreneur. So what this guy does is he tells the audience, hey, if you come to my circus show, it's going to be Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, Act 5. Like it or leave it. If you like it, you could purchase a ticket. If you don't like it, there's another circus around the corner. This gives the entrepreneur the power. And now the audience is saying, well, this entrepreneur looks like he knows what he's talking about. He seems like he's been in the circus game for a long time. And the audience gives the power to the entrepreneur, and the entrepreneur is able to fulfill his duty. Do you see the difference in paradigms? This one is, the clown is more external focused, always asking, what do other people want from me? While the entrepreneur focuses on what's been working and is more internal focused. We want you to become an artist, and the way that you're going to become an artist and create infinite content at unparalleled rates while maintaining quality is by becoming internal focused. Quit letting the audience tell you what to say. Instead, create the art and then deliver it to the audience. So how do you do this? The best way you do this is by understanding that you're not speaking to a crowd, you're speaking to just one person. All right, we're getting somewhere. No longer a crowd, we're just speaking to one person. Now the question is, who is this one person? There's different people that you can choose. You could talk to your best friend that you know. You could talk to someone that you're close to. But one of the best advice that I can give you is you talk to your younger self. And how young this self is completely up to you. You could be speaking to your 5-year-old self, your 10-year-old self, 15-year-old self, 25-year-old self, or yourself from yesterday. But in this case, what you are now doing is you're no longer seeing a crowd, you're seeing one person, but to delve even deeper into that one person, it's you. It's younger you. And if you ask me, this is the perfect person to build your market around. Because you know you better than anyone else knows you, hopefully. If you have a semblance of self-awareness, you know you to a good level. But more importantly, you know your younger self. You know the younger self and what you used to struggle with. And I know you personally do, because you've had moments where you thought, dang, if I only knew then what I know now. We all have those moments. So if you ever said something like that, that means you know something now that your younger self could have known. And when you're speaking directly to that person, now you're starting to become the entrepreneur rather than the clown. Rather than asking the audience, well, what do you guys want from me? You're telling your younger self what you wished this person always knew, and now the audience is forming around you. Now you may be wondering why this works. Why would an audience be forming around you? They're forming around you because lessons to your past self speaks to people's present day self. Not everyone's present day self, but it's going to speak to a certain amount of people's present day self. To give you an example, when I was first starting Armani Talks, I knew that my younger self struggled with public speaking. I didn't know much about it. I didn't know where to look for public speaking content. I didn't know how to structure a speech. I didn't know anything about public speaking. And that was the reason why I used to be so nervous when we had a speech coming up. So me, at my present day self, a guy that's done Toastmasters for many years, mentored people in the Toastmasters clubs, and given different speeches in different areas, I know a whole lot of stuff that I could have told younger Armani. And that I do. I share insights to younger Armani via my YouTube channel. And as someone's watching this video, they're thinking that I'm speaking right to them. And this person that's watching it, let's say it's Billy from Sweden, he's struggling with speech anxiety too. He has a lot of the questions now that I used to have. So I'm killing two birds with one stone simply by having one intention. And that one intention is me just speaking to younger Armani. Sometimes I like to switch it up. Sometimes I like to speak to 5-year-old Armani. Sometimes I like to speak to 15-year-old Armani. But each time that I do this, each time I know that it's a younger self. When you get more advanced into this, you could take it up another notch. You could have your future day self speak to your present day self. But this one requires more visualization, more imagination, more cognitive effort. So if you're just starting off with this formula that I'm giving you, make sure you're talking to your younger self. And one of the final points that I want to make is that this works so seamlessly, mainly because what you do is you're not following the same rules that others are following. Why? It's because I said earlier in this video that creativity does not follow the same rules as space, time, and causation. And let's zone into time. Think about it like this. Your present day self is speaking to your younger self. So present to past. Now in the context of your present or past day self, they're getting, from their lens, there's a future you coming towards them, talking to them. It's like me right now talking to younger Armani, hey, I'm you from the future, and here's how you give a speech. So not only is present meeting the past, but past is meeting the future, and now time is no longer existing, it's becoming blurry. And the blurrier that time is becoming, the more creative that you feel, mainly because now you're in the present moment. You've collapsed time. And anytime we collapse time, we feel good. That's why people do stuff for entertainment. That's why people like laughing. Anytime that you feel good, you are actually in a moment where you are losing a track of time, also known as flow state. With this hack that I'm giving you, where you're just giving advice to your younger self, you are forcefully reaching flow state and you are forcefully collapsing time to your own will. And that right there is how you start creating infinite content. You may still think, Armani, eventually I'm going to run out. You will never run out. I guarantee you. Just try and practice with it. With this simple framework, this one intention that I've had, I've been able to publish over 150 plus YouTube videos, 150 plus podcasts, 150 plus blogs, 50,000 tweets, 4 plus books, etc. And this media company, Armani Talks, is impacting multiple people regarding how to improve their communication skills by simply talking to one person. So you scratch what I said earlier. You're not killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're killing many birds with 1 stone. And this is much easier. So if you're struggling with creativity, content, then stop focusing on so much on the external world. You're starting to become too material focused. Bring all the attention back internally, focus on your younger self, and speak to that person. Focus all your attention to them. Be the wise older friend. And this allows you to maintain your humor and just talk to that person. That's your market. And from there, everyone else is going to be attracted towards you. Don't sacrifice your principles to get more subscribers or more views, etc. Because eventually, you'll see that starts feeling like tension and you don't feel joy in creating. So feel that joy with creation and collapse time towards your will. If you want more insights into the world of creativity, make sure you join my free daily newsletter, which is sent every single day at 7 p.m. EST. In this newsletter, you're going to learn more about storytelling, more about practical creativity insights, and more about the infinite content that I am talking about. To sign up, join the link in the description box right on below. And thank you for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel.